Uh-oh. Why did it beep on me? There we go. Worksheet 5, number 4. I think I would move the cosine squared over. So I'd have 2 cosine squared. It's fine to factor like that. To me, that just looks out of order. I would put the cosine squared first. You don't have to do that, but I find it worthwhile. Keeps things in order. How are we going to factor that? Blanks. Well, they both have a cosine in them, so let's factor out a cosine, a GCF. So 2 cosine theta. What needs to go in the second blank? 1. So cosine of theta equals 0. And cosine of theta equals negative 1/2. Right, subtract the 1, divide by 2. And then both of these are unit circle things. Cosine equals 0 at pi over 2. And the other one is always plus or minus. So plus or minus pi over 2 plus 2 pi k. Cosine is negative on the left. And 1/2 goes with pi over 3. But it's in the second quadrant, so 2 pi over 3. And we can go forward or backwards. So plus or minus 2 pi over 3.
Do you only put like the plus or minus on something where you could go like forward and backwards on it?
So the plus or minus means you can go forward or backwards to get there. But it always works with cosine. Because any angle you pick, the positive one and the negative one, they'll have the same x value. So their cosines will be the same. So whether you go forward or backwards, their cosine is the same. Even if it's into the second and third quadrant, their cosine is the same. So cosine, your answers to cosine problems are always going to be plus or minus. Looking at number 8 from worksheet 5. They both have a sign in them, so I can factor out the sign. And that leaves 1 minus cosine. So I want to know where sine of theta equals 0.
So, I guess this is the part that caught me. So I was like, okay, so factor it out. But like, why does the 1 there?
Why is there a 1 there?
Yeah, because if the sign is multiplied by the first, so it replaces the first time. Never mind.
Yeah, it's if I distribute it back, I better get what I started with. So I need a 1 to hold the spot there.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
And then 1 minus cosine equals 0. That one looked a little weird, so I wanted to write that one out. Again, that's the step that some of you skip. It's okay to skip, but if you hit one that looks a little funny, like this one, then show the work. If I move the 1 over and then divide by negative, or I could just move the cosine over and get cosine equals 1. Sine of theta equals 0. That would be there and there. So 0 plus 2 pi k and pi plus 2 pi k. And if you're really paying attention, you could sort of combine those. You don't have to do this, but some people have asked. Like those are always pi apart, so you could just write 0 plus pi k, and that would cover them all. So that's sort of next level. If you see it, fine. If you don't, it's fine too. It's whatever. See, cosine equals 1. That would be over here. So that would be at 0 plus 2 pi k. Which I guess is a little weird because it's the same as one of our sine answers, but that's okay. And if this was on the calculator portion of the test, you could plug those in and see, or you could graph it and see. So with the calculator, you got options to check your work.